On today's episode of WAtv, we hear about people's spring break plans, get a sports and news update, and more. This is WAtv. Hey Wheaton Academy, I'm Sophia and this is our 19th episode of the year. We hope all of you had a great start to the week. It has been a while since we have engaged into the scripture reading challenge from last semester. We hope that Mr. Dykema's New Testament reading challenge has helped you grow in your knowledge of the Bible as well as your relationship with God. For today's reading, we turn to 1 Peter 3 verses 8 through 10. It says, "Finally, all of you be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing. For whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech." We hope that the scripture encourages you today. As we always say, it's never too late to jump into reading challenge. Reach out to Mr. Dykema if you have any questions. Switching gears to our first segment, Nick Novak went around campus asking people to guess the teachers based off their baby photos. Take a look.
What's up, Wheaton Academy? My name is Miguel, and Nick and I went around asking teachers and students if they could guess the teacher based off that baby photo. Take a look.
You guys.
All right, who do we got here?
Okay, first of all, there's a little airplane in the corner. Okay. This is the cutest baby photo ever. I'm gonna ask a friend. I'm gonna phone a friend. No, that's an old school photo.
Old?
You think it's Delatorre?
Yeah.
Okay. Final answer, Mr. Delatorre.
That's Mr. Findus. Mr. Findus?
I think that's Dr. Regan.
Mr. Findus.
That is Mr. Findus.
You serious?
That is Mr. Findus.
No way.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. I'm 0 for 2.
0 for 2.
0 for 2. Okay, better luck next time, watch.
Who do we think this teacher is?
Mr. Kelly?
Miss Brushoven?
Miss Gregerson. Miss Marr.
This is Miss Mark.
I was gonna say Mr. Kelly. Can I read
All right.
email?
All right, whose baby photo do we have here?
I want to say Mrs. Holtrop. That kind of looks like Mr. Hogan.
I'm thinking one or two guesses. I'm gonna say Mr. Smith or Mrs. Corbett Burek.
I'm gonna guess Mr. Piercy.
That is Mr. Piercy. Bang! Look at that. This is Mr. Piercy.
Stop it. It's not.
Whose baby photo do we have here?
Dr. Haas.
That's a girl. That's a boy. I'm gonna go with Mr. Kelly.
Mr. Kelly?
Should look like Mr. Thompson. Mr. Royce.
This is old school. I'm gonna go with Mr. Zawicki.
It is Mrs. Gregerson.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
I just really like the overalls, the tucked hair.
She's got it on.
Yeah, I feel like
That's
this
a new
could have been
fashion.
Mr. Zawicki.
Thank you for watching. This is Miguel and Nick signing out.
Thanks, guys. As you all know, next week is spring break, and we know that you all have a variety of plans. So, Kayla went around to see what everyone was going to be up to next week. Check it out.
Hey Wheaton Academy, I'm Kayla, here to ask people what their plans for spring break are.
What are you doing for spring break? I'm going to Alabama. I'm going to Turks and Caicos.
I'm going to Turks and Caicos. That's fun.
What are you doing for spring break?
Going to Dominican Republic.
With who?
My family.
What are you doing for spring break?
I'm going to Naples, Florida to see my in-laws. Super fun.
What are you doing for spring break?
I'm going to Florida to see my grandparents.
I'm going to Florida. I'm going to Florida. What are you doing for spring break?
I'm just hanging out with friends.
Time. What are you doing for spring break?
I'm finally going to visit Mrs. Park at Wool & Co., which is the yarn shop where she works. So I'm going to surprise her, bring in our Starbucks coffee.
I'm gonna go to Kentucky and Nashville.
Staying home.
I'm gonna go see my older brother Devin. He's in the Navy. We're gonna go to Virginia.
What are you doing for spring break?
My in-laws are coming for whole week.
I'm going to California.
I'm going to Vermont to visit the University of Vermont.
With who?
With my dad.
What are you doing for spring break?
I'm going back to China.
What are you doing for spring break?
I am hanging around town, gonna hang out with my dog Alfie, maybe going to the city, organize spring cleaning.
I'm gonna be doing homework, studying, and hanging out with friends.
Hope everyone has a great time over spring break and is able to come back strong for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Kayla. We wish everyone safe travels and a relaxing spring break. Now for some news and notes. Any juniors interested in being part of the Junior-Senior Planning Committee, there will be a meeting in Mrs. Rinker's room Thursday during lunch. For Friday's chapel, we welcome Mrs. Heisted to the stage. For lunch, we will have Adante's sandwiches today, Rosati's tomorrow, and Panera on Friday. When we return from spring break, Mrs. White will be hosting another career panel. This panel will take place on April 9th from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. in the Student Union. The topics that will be covered will be on business and finance. If you have any questions, please reach out to Mrs. White. Just a reminder, winterim trip applications will be due on April 8th at midnight. Reach out to Mrs. Heavey if you have any questions. Any juniors applying to Project Lead, your applications are due this Friday. You can find the link in on-campus message from Mr. Hogan. Lastly, we mentioned this earlier, but next week is spring break, so there will be no classes next week. Be sure to finish strong in your classes this week. That will do it for your news and notes. Let's turn things over to Palmer and Dom at the sports desk.
Thanks, Sophia. What's up, everyone? I'm Palmer Schneider, and I'm here with my co-host Dom Gula, and we have some great sports updates for you. Let's get started. The baseball season is off to a strong start. Over the weekend, the Warriors defeated Glenbard South by a score of 10-5, improving to a record of 3-0 on the year. Senior Jai Cooks earned the win for the Warriors, going 2.1 innings, allowing 0 runs, and struck out 1. Lincoln Park started the game, going 3.2 innings, and left with a score of 3-3. He struck out 7 during that time and only allowed 1 hit. At the plate, the Warriors kept the bats hot. They out-hit the Raiders 11-2. Junior Mark Jackson was 3-4 with 3 runs, 1 RBI, and 3 stolen bases. Senior Jackson Fromm was 2-3 with 4 RBIs, and junior catcher Eli Kaufman was 2-4 with a home run. The Warriors are in the middle of a 3-game week before heading to Florida for spring break. Come out to the field today at 4:30 for their game against Kayland High School. Last week, girls soccer beat Glenbard East with a score of 3-0, and on Saturday, they tied Plainfield Central High School with a score of 3-3. Goals were scored by Elena Tran, assisted by Annika Vanderveld. Molly Roth scored with the assist from Gianna Hughes, and Addie Nielsen scored with the assist from Gianna Hughes as well. Goalkeeper Nora Pennings had 4 saves. The girls are in action today at 5:30 against Bennett Academy. Be sure to swing by the baseball and soccer game today.
Boys lacrosse started off their season with a big win over Marstead High School with a dominant score of 20-4. Lacrosse faces off against Glenbar West at home this Saturday at 11 a.m. The following spring sports start their season this week. Boys volleyball plays today at Christian Heritage Academy. Softball has an away game tomorrow at Ridgewood High School, and then after spring break, boys tennis has a match on April 6th versus Kendall High School. And lastly, track and field will have their first meet here at home at April 8th at 4:30 p.m. That will do it for your Warriors Sports Zone update. Before we close out, I want to remind you that sports broadcasting class is gearing up for their season of spring sports live streams. They will be live streaming the girls' soccer game tomorrow night at 6:45 p.m. If you cannot make it to the game, be sure to tune in at Wheaton Academy's YouTube page. If you have an interest in sports live streaming but did not have room in your class schedule to take the class, you will need help. You can still help the sports production crew. Reach out to Miss Burek or Mr. Piercy to learn how to get involved. No prior video or production experience is required. Now let's turn things back over to Palmer.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube. Support your Warriors sports today, and as always, stay classy, Wheaton Academy.